Hey everybody, welcome back to Creative Chat Cafe. I am Zafzan.
Hi, I'm Lirone Glickman, and we are your hosts on today's episode of Creative Chat Cafe, a weekly business talk show hangout for entrepreneurs and business folks who are looking to soar into a business and life that pays it forward.
There you go. Awesome, folks. We're going to have a great episode today. And, you know, we're all busy folks, busy entrepreneurs, busy business people. Hey, take time out and hang out with us, you know. And if you're new to the show, we're all about getting you guidance, inspiration, and results to help you soar into a business and life that pays it forward. So tweet us. So we're at, here's our get social information. Our hashtag is hashtag Creative Chat Cafe and also hashtag CCC Time to Hang Out. So, Lirone, let's get started.
Let's get started. So today we have Nelly Odessa from nellyodessa.com, who is a success coach. Woohoo! Success coach and goal achievement strategist. So welcome to the show, Nelly. We're very, very excited to have you today. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Yay! I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. By knowing like your amazing energies, I know it would be just amazing. So please tell us a little bit about yourself. So where are you from? What's your background? What are you known for?
Sure. So, yeah, we're going to have a ton of fun. I'm excited to be here. So I live in New York City. I was actually born in the Ukraine, but I was raised in New York City. I live here now. I'm a true New Yorker. What I do is I help people clarify and achieve meaningful goals. And I've always been interested in, like, how do people become successful? What does it take to achieve meaningful goals? And what separates people who achieve things and people who don't achieve things? And I really realized that people like overcomplicate this whole process, because the process to getting what you want is really very simple. There are 3 steps. Decide what is it that you want, create an action plan, and like do stuff. Take action, do stuff. Yeah. That's it. That's all there is to it. And I specialize in working with people, with entrepreneurs who I call learning junkies. People who love to learn, take courses, and consume a ton of other people's content, but when it comes time to creating their own content or implementing or taking action, they need that extra push, and that's what I do.
Fantastic. Awesome. And you know, you're just perfect for this show, because I'll just tell you the general theme. So the monthly theme is vision board and mind mapping, but this final episode in the series is all about basically how to implement the vision board and our mind mapping plans into actionable items and to actually turn them into reality. So what you do, your expertise is just perfect for this show. And it's interesting that you're saying about this ever-learning junkies. It's also a very interesting niche, and a lot of people do get into it. So good on you for helping them get out of it.
Yep. Awesome.
So,
to be here.
Now tell me, please. So, so now that we've created a vision board, I have a vision board. What's next, Nelly?
What a great question, right? You have a vision board. What am I supposed to do next? Okay, so it depends on what is it that you want. If your goal is simply to just like feel good, like feel excited and have the good feeling, if you're just after the feeling, then you stop right there. Because just the creation of the vision board and dreaming and fantasizing and being creative and putting it together, making it beautiful, that's enough to make you feel good and excited. And if that's all you're after, if you're just after the feeling, you just stop. Okay, but if you're like myself and like most creative, ambitious people, I think you're asking is, how do I actually manifest into physical reality the things from my vision board? How do I make it real? Right. So first of all, just want to take a step back. The vision board is really a creative representation of what it is that you want, right? Your goals and desires, kind of what I call step 1, right? In the getting what you want process. And it's really like the inner work. And look, I'm all for inner work, right? Vision boards, writing morning pages, yoga, prayer, meditation, creative visualization, seeing energy healer. Like, I do it all. So I'm not minimizing it because I love this stuff and I do it myself. But that is just like the first part of the process. That just doing that inner work is not enough to actually bring things into physical reality.
Right.
And step 2.
That's why we're having this conversation today, folks. Hello, right? Hello.
That's right. That's right. It's the first step. So for your vision board, I really recommend that people put things in terms of the final outcomes. What is it that you want? Like, what is your outcome? And I'm a very creative and ambitious person. I know that you guys are, and your viewers are entrepreneurs, also very likely multi-passionate, creative, and ambitious. And, like, I want a lot of things. But I've really realized for myself and my clients that when you focus on 3 things specifically, or in a certain amount, of smaller goals, and take them from start to finish, it works to your advantage, versus I'm, like, working and desiring 35 things and not achieving any of them, right?
Yeah, sure.
So I like to focus on my vision board or on 3 specific areas of my life. For me, it's always one area is always around, like, kind of fitness. For me personally, fitness, health, like flat abs, getting in shape, being super flexible, whatever, because that's important to me. My second area on my vision board is usually around kind of business, or the things that I want to create in my business. Maybe I want to write a book, or maybe I want to create a new program, or a certain money goal. And the third thing on my vision board is usually it varies, and it depends on what's happening in my life. Like when I was pregnant and having my babies, it was around, the baby stuff. When I was buying a house, it was like vision boards of beautiful houses and things like this, right? So it depends. So pick 3 areas that are most meaningful to you, and think in terms of the final outcome, the final result. The what, not the how, but just the what. What is it that you want? So that's your vision board. The next step is to think about, like, what would I have to do? What actions would I need to take to bring about this specific outcome, right? So if my goal is to have flat abs, and it is, after 2 babies.
Flat abs. I love how you say that because, so sorry to jump in because I'm so excited listening to you just talking about health, flat abs, because I feel like the entire series on vision board and mind mapping has been about health and flat abs. It's funny. So that means we all need to have this on our vision boards, people.
Yeah, because as entrepreneurs, we talk about our businesses and what we want our businesses, but we're not only entrepreneurs, we're also people, right? So we also have like personal goals as well, and it's okay to think about them as well.
Yes.
So so if my goal, and I like to give health examples because it's so meaningful to me, but also like everybody gets it. Doesn't matter what kind of business you do, you really get the health examples. So if my goal or my outcome that I'm after is flat abs, right? What kind of action step would I need to take? Like, would me going to the gym and working out my arms lead me to that goal? And the answer is no, because people just do stuff and they do things, but it's not, the action are not directly related to the goal. If your goal is to, let's say, grow your email list, right? You want to have more people on your email list. Would you, instead of blogging, 1 time a week, increasing how many, writing 3 blog posts a week, would that help you get more people on your email list? And the answer is no.
Right.
You could be writing the 3 blog posts and nobody's reading it. Instead, you could promote the 1 blog post that you write, or create a better opt-in freebie, or do other things, to get people to join your email.
You're saying that a lot of people are maybe going to their convenience zone, or doing some stuff that are not related to what they actually have to do because I don't know why, because they fear, because they don't want to do it, because it's annoying.
Sometimes we get in that state of busyness, and we feel like because we're busy And because we're doing things, like I'm all for action, right? Because if you're not doing anything, that's like bad, right? At least, you know, if you're taking action, at least you're in that momentum. But you have to take strategic action. It has to be smart, right? I'm not for working hard, because working hard sounds like you're like stressed out. I'm all for working smart. Right. So the one question you need to ask yourself, and I love it, you know, keeping things simple, right? Things are very simple. Would me taking this action step, would it lead me closer to my goal or not? That's it. Or would it lead me further away? And if the answer is no, it's not going to lead you closer to what you want, then you think of something else to do. You don't just do it like to feel like you're productive, right? To kill time, because you're not going to get the ultimate result, right? Right. So when you, after you create this vision board of the things that you want, then you create your action step. And that's a plan of all the things that you will actually do that will bring about the desired results. And step 3, you just do it. Right. You just do the stuff. Right? You know what? Writing it out, planning it, creating vision boards, it's really fun. Like, we make a lot of people. Yeah, we like making lists. We like planning. We feel like we're going somewhere. It's fun. Yeah. But then, my friends, you just got to do the stuff. You got to take the action steps that are on your action plan. Right. Yeah.
And I think most of the time what people don't realize, and it's not about not realizing, people are just not, you talked about, you mentioned earlier about building the momentum, and I think most people, that's where sometimes they falter, because they don't have the right support system, the right strategy, the follow-through strategy, which is the most important thing. Hello. Right? So the most important thing, the fact that you have to follow up on that strategy. You can put everything beautiful on your vision board, whether it's physical or digital. You could probably do like the best board, the most expensive, but then they're all just material stuff, and there's no follow through. And I think I really resonate with what you just said. You know, Nelly, is just having to figure out what the next step is, and that should include call to actions, and really, just like Nike says, just do it, right, folks?
Yeah. I think it's also important to put the things in our vision boards that we actually really truly do want, versus what things that we think we should work on, we should work on, like things that we want to work on, because it's easier to get yourself motivated to work on something that you truly want versus things you don't really want.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. So, but, you know, folks, one of the things that I also think, other than just putting what you want, it'll be great to put something that you really, really want, but in a bigger way, because if you don't, like, you know, many people say, if you shoot to the stars, you might land on the moon, right? So we just have to be a little bit more, we need to dream a little bit bigger. I just want to do like a quick shout out for our, for our folks out there. If you're just watching in to our show, you're watching today's episode on You've Created a Vision Board, Then What? And just wanted to say that I'm now joined with my by my co-host Lirone and also our guest for today, Nelly Odessa, and just wanted to share our hashtags. If you're new to the show and you don't know if we have any hashtags, this is our hashtag CCC Time to Hang Out, and also hashtag Creative Chat Cafe. You can also tweet us at CChat Cafe. So quickly, Lirone, I wanted to ask you this question. What about you? You know, everyone has their methods to achieving their goals. What have you done to kind of follow up with your vision board in the past? How do you put things into motion and staying on course? Because this is what Nelly just mentioned. You know, we have to follow through, and we just have to kind of really do it.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I do a lot of stuff. I accomplish a lot of stuff, but I want to do even more. Yeah. So I'm constantly learning. I have to admit, I'm constantly learning how to do things in a better way or more efficient way, how to make them happen. And you know what? When I even talked to my personal business coach, and I told her, look, like, I don't know where the time is gone. Like, and she's like, no, you've done so much. Like, you know, she kind of puts me back into, you know, the right way of looking at things. But I still, like, want to do a lot of things. So I'm a multitasker, and since I have a lot of things on my plate, I learned, first of all, to write everything in my calendar, like as a general work plan, like for the month or so, and I actually divide it into weeks and months, so what I have to complete according to my, like looking at my general yearly or 6-month plan.
Right.
And then I actually break it down into each week. So each week I actually dedicate a certain time for each task. And this is how I get my project working. But the reality is that things take longer than I think they would. So I kind of learn it like.
That's true. But one of the things also, I think sometimes it's hard for us to really, it's hard to fully realize if you achieve a goal or not, because there are always more things that we want to achieve, from time to time. So Nelly, let me quickly ask you, how do you know that you've hit the mark? How do we gauge that? How do we analyze that? Do you have any ideas on that?
Yeah, it's so important what you're saying, right? Because sometimes we achieve meaningful things, but we don't know we got there, and therefore we don't celebrate, and we don't get that pleasure and satisfaction. And you do that by writing things down. It's as simple as that. When you're just getting started, you write down, you record very specifically what is it that you're after. So when you get it, you can like compare, this is what I was after, I got it. It's as simple as this. Don't make things complicated. But like this whole writing down, you might be thinking, it's so simple. People don't do it.
Right.
People don't do it, and they keep stuff in their heads. And when we keep stuff in our heads, it actually feels so overwhelming. It sometimes feels like we have a million things to do, and we feel stressed out. Therefore, we can't get started accomplishing anything. And if you were to write it down, you would realize that you're really only after like 4 things or 5 things, but it's never a million things. But also, I just want to say to everybody, and to you, Lirone, as well, is that as important is it to decide on the goals that you're after and the tasks that you're trying to accomplish, it's equally as important to decide which tasks you're really not after, like which things you should not do and you should cut out from your, to-dos.
Right.
Marie Forleo calls it get on the no train, so know where to say no.
Say no. No train. I love it.
Right.
Now, I want to ask you, Zeph. So generally speaking, vision boards are used to help us map out and visualize our goals and/or what we want to achieve in life. But what to do when you hit like a roadblock? So how do you keep yourself motivated?
Great question. Let me start that with a dog. People often ask me this question, right? So when they meet me, they go like, where do you get all this energy? You seem motivated all the time. But I'm going to tell you folks out there, it's not only, I don't know, it's probably a gift, but it's also something that I've learned to cultivate and learned from my mentors in the past. And 2 things I really wanted to share with everybody. If these 2 elements do not work for you, then you might find the second one will probably the best that would resonate with you. Maybe the first item here, probably many of you will not, probably have not heard about it or never feel that it's like, a real thing. You might feel it's like foo-foo-ish. But the first thing is actually dream building, and my mentor said, dream big. But when you also dream big, you also, just like what you said right now, you can't just have everything on your board and just like pictures, pretty pictures, and if we do a digital board, it's not about the videos, but what is it that you want, right? You're putting on your vision board what it is that you want, but you need to also motivate yourself. Nobody else can motivate you but you. So you have to do this, what they call, my mentors call it the dream building process. And have any one of you heard about it?
No, tell us.
So basically what a dream building process is, you literally need to go out there and touch and feel and experience the space. So for instance, if you because for instance, sometimes how we women just like to go shopping, right? So if you like that Coach bag or Hermes bag or whatever, you may not be able to afford it now, but when you go into the store, you touch it, you feel it, you open the satchel and you feel the velvet. For some reason, that drive, that need, that want becomes so big, that desire becomes huge, and your dream may you're thinking of like, okay, how can I, achieve this? How can I realize this dream? So they say about, homes, cars, and I've actually went on dream building trips with my mentors in the past, where we actually walk into homes, and one of the process they walk us through is just like that. We'll go into a house that hasn't been finished, it's just in the process of structure, foundation, and he walks us through the process, which is, if you're in this section of this house, what would you think would you want to put in this space? And people go like, I like countertops, and maybe a family table, and he'll continue to ask like, what kind of family table, oak, maybe counters, granite, what it is. So being specific. So this dream building process is really very powerful, folks. If you've never done it before, take a friend, a good supporter, a mentor, go out, get into that new car and take a test drive, because when you do that, you actually amp up that dream, and you'll find ways, you'll figure it out how to get there. And the second part of all, I think for many of you could resonate with this, is be around people who inspire and empower you, because you don't want people who make you feel like this, right? Right? So you want people who inspire and empower you. So be around people who can actually lift you up. And I have this slide here I want to share. I found this as I was researching for this show. I love this. It says, if you hang out with 4 broke guys, you're going to be the 5th. I love that. It's like awesome. Because I'm thinking that is so true, right? Because I'm like, sometimes we don't think about it, but that's the truth. And I learned this from Robert Kiyosaki. He says, bring me 5 of your friends that you are very close with right now. Ladies, do you know who Robert Kiyosaki is?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So Robert Kiyosaki, because I've met and trained with him like in the past in person, great guy, and he says, bring me 5 people that you hang around with, and I'll tell you exactly where you'll be in 5 years' time. And I was like, oh my God, that's like, that's awakening.
They say you're the, I read the quote, I actually wrote a blog post about it that says, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So it's like, everybody take a second and think about the 5 people you spend time with.
Right. Exactly. But I can tell you also, from a networking perspective, we're like working on different levels. We have our community, our friends, our work friends, and it's really, really important to kind of think who are the people, like to actually know who the people that are around you, and spend more or less time with a certain amount of people that make you feel good, or other way around. It really affects that in so many levels.
That's true. Very true. Yeah. So go ahead, Lirone.
Yeah, I want to ask you, Nelly. So once you have the vision board and your action plan, how do you make sure that you actually stay motivated when when it's time to do it?
To do the stuff, right?
Yeah, to do the stuff.
So one is you actually look at your vision board and you remind yourself of your goals. And I recommend you do this daily, and you do it at the same time every day, because if it's not part of a routine, if it's not scheduled, it's not happening, right? So I usually, I remind myself of my goals, whether it's written goals or look at my vision board, twice a day. I do it first thing in the morning, like I use the bathroom, brush my teeth, and then while I'm still in my PJs, I look at my vision board so that I know that, this day is going to be productive. I know that what I'm working towards, so the day doesn't just like pass by and nothing happen, right? And I do it right before I go to sleep. Right. And then, like you ladies were saying, you surround yourself with people who motivate you, who inspire you, who push you, and you get like outside support. And it doesn't matter who it is. It could be like a peer-run mastermind group, or it could be a professional mastermind group. It could be like a Facebook group, or you could work with an accountability partner, or you can hire a coach. But you need that like outside push. It goes a long way.
Right. Absolutely. And can I just quickly jump in here and to just kind of reciprocate what you just said there, Nelly? It just doesn't have to be coaches. Sometimes look at the people in your surrounding, in your space. So I was just actually, I met a friend of mine who actually volunteers at her soup kitchen, and there was a story that, so I wanted to share this story quickly because she just mentioned to me, she says she was at the soup kitchen and she was sweeping, and when there was this mother and daughter, you know, who were the last people at the shelter, and she kind of asked them because it was freezing cold day, and asked, I think the mother was probably like 80 years old and the daughter was like 50 years old, and she, the mom said, you know, I'm so tired, she says, but it's probably going to take me about 3 hours to get back home. And my girlfriend says, like, oh my God, where do you live? And apparently they walked 3 hours to, oh my God, to the shelter to get food, a meal.
Oh, wow.
So that being said, you will find people like that who would inspire you. Sorry, ladies.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah, you'll find people anywhere to inspire you.
Yeah, I love reading, you know, success stories of people and things like this. But another way to get inspired is by your own stories. Like, just remind yourself of things that you've accomplished in the past, like what we were saying earlier, right? It's important when you reach a milestone so you can celebrate. So later on, when you're struggling, working towards something else and it's not going, you can remind yourself, look, I've accomplished this in my life. I've accomplished this. Last time I was really struggling and I ended up finishing this project. I'm going through a challenge now, but I've done it like 12 times before, and here's proof. I will probably do it again. So,
that's true. So true. Oh my God! You know, 30 minutes is never enough.
Time flies.
Hello. We're having so much fun.
It's been 30 minutes. Wow.
Yes, we're almost there. So I just want to make sure before we go, folks, you know, we can go on and have this discussion, but, you know, I just wanted our guests and also the cast today to just share our contact information so you can connect with us post the show and, you know, get engaged and connect and have more post-show conversations. Let's build our community and connectivity so that we can grow our business and help each other out. Lirone, go ahead.
Okay, so thanks again, ladies. My name is Lirone Glickman. I'm a business networking coach, so I help entrepreneurs and small business owners from all over the world to achieve their goals through the power of relationships, because it's all about people. You're more than welcome to go on my website, www.lironeglickman.com. It's right here.
Okay.
And find me on Twitter at Lirone Glickman. And thanks.
There you go.
Nelly, our guest.
Well, hi. So I already got this like beautiful introduction in the beginning, but I'm a goal achievement strategist, and I help online entrepreneurs who are learning junkies clarify what is it that they want from their business, to create an action step, an action plan, and to implement the action plan. And you can follow me, find me on Facebook and Twitter, everywhere. I'm at nellyodessa.com. You can visit my website, nellyodessa.com. But mostly, I would love people to join my Facebook group, because it's an accountability group, and I can give you this like push to implement that I was talking about. Just search accountability for learning junkies and join it.
Great, thank you so much. And you know, one of the things that I wanted to also make sure you folks out there who are watching know where to find our show and watch our show. If you go to our website, www.entrepreneurs@soar.com, you will find a tab that says web shows, and you can pull it down as a Creative Chat Cafe tab. You can watch all previous episodes and our blog content right there. And the information for our show is watch Creative Chat Cafe on Wednesdays, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Check your local listings, because we do have a global cast. We cover breakfast, we cover lunch, we cover dinner. So, you know, you might have to check what your local time zone is. So it's 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But every first Wednesday of the month is actually our live show that we have the full cast, and it's much more fun on these live shows. I wanted to say that we also have Facebook. Join us on Facebook, Google Plus, and here's again our hashtag. So if you're, you know, commenting on our posts or telling a story about what you saw on the show, please hashtag Creative Chat Cafe and also hashtag CCC Time to Hang Out. And this is our Twitter handle. It's it's at C-Chat Cafe. And if you're a YouTuber, you love watching videos, make sure you subscribe to our Entrepreneurs That Soar channel because Entrepreneurs That Soar produces this show. And thank you for watching. There you go. I covered everything. Woohoo! Thank you so much. So, ladies, I just wanted to have everybody have their mugs up ready. You know, thank you for being here with us, Nelly. Thank you, Lirone Glickman, for also always being my awesome sidekick. So before we go, let's raise our mugs. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, Zeph. Thanks, Nelly.
Bye-bye, everybody. See ya.
Bye.